Okay, it is time for the line chart. So I'm going to close out that option. I don't know why it's opened right now. Maybe I was using it last time. I was just with you in the bar chart. But here we go, line chart. Now inside the line chart, you're going to be looking at the temperature totals. So to get started, I'm going to select ranges A3 to B12. I'm selecting all my data because that's what's going to be inside my chart. So again, we go insert. I want to remind you we select what we want to be in the chart. Then we hit insert and we go and find the chart. Well, now I'm doing a line chart, which looks like this. So make sure you find a line chart you like. I am not going to do the area. I'm just going to go straight up with a line. I'll just do a 2D line. It's just a line like this today, a stacked line. So there's my line chart. Now I'm going to find a chart style I like. So I'm going to come in here and I'll find a chart. I'll try to go with one kind of like the example. I'll go with that one right there. And now I'm going to add a design that complements the chart, which I just did. So I like that one. Okay, now I'm going to place in the provided space my chart. So in other words, my provided space is right there. So I'm going to place my chart in this provided space, make sure it fits nice. This is one of our easiest ones we're doing with our line chart. There we go. So instead of looking at the actual temperatures, I can just say, well, the hottest day of the week was Saturday and Monday. The coldest day was Tuesday. It's a lot easier when you just look at a chart to see things. And I am done saving it. So now we're going to move on to our other chart, which is the column chart. So inside of the column chart, we have some data as well. We're looking at the central vital statistics of disease, so percentages of diseases. So what are diseases like in 1910 compared to 2003? So the first thing that I want to do is I want to highlight the area that's going to be inside my chart. So I'm going to go from cell A3 all the way down to C7, and I'm going to make a chart showing this information. For this one, I'm going to make a column chart. So we've already done a line chart, a pie chart, a bar chart, but look what's also inside here. Insert column or bar chart. So I'm going to click on the arrow, and I want to make sure I'm not doing a bar. We've already done bar. We're going to do column. So I want a comparable column chart that looks well to compare both years. So I'm going to go with this chart. I think it's well represented, and just simply 3D looks better than 2D. So I'm going 3D. So 3D column, cluster chart. Here's my chart, and as we can see, the blue is representing one of the numbers and the red is the other. So we can use our common sense because right now our legend doesn't tell us, but we know the blue is representing 1910 and the red is representing 2003 for cancer. So let's continue and see what else we're going to be doing inside our chart. First thing is I'm going to give my chart a title. So I click in here and I'm going to call my chart Century Vital, there we go, Statistics. Alright, now I'm going to change the legends down here so they actually read. I'm going to close that out. Change the legends so they actually read what it's supposed to read. So the first legend, I can click in, and we want my legend to say 1910 on the blue one. So inside, I'm going to, as you can see, you do have some options on your menu. So to get into that menu, as you see I keep getting into it, I just double click and it pulls up in the menu. I can give a different fill, a different border, different shadow, whatever I want, and then I can come to text options, give it a different text fill, text outline if I wanted to do any of that. So I wanted you to see that that does exist when you double click and go into the menu. But I'm not going to do any of that. All I want to do is basically change what it says from Series 1, and instead I want it to say 1910. So to change the name, there's two different ways we can do it, but the objective is we want to get into a section called Select Data. So I can right click on it, and then I can choose Select Data to get this box to appear, or up here if you look on your ribbons, on my design ribbon, we have the button called Select Data. So you can choose whatever one you like. So I'm going to click Select Data, and then what it's showing inside is all of my data. So for instance, we have the name of all of my diseases, and then we have my legend. These are the names I want to change. So I'm going to click on the first one, Series 1, and I'm going to hit Edit. I'm going to change the series name to 1910. and then I'm going to hit OK. And as you can see, it changed. Now I'm going to click on Series 2. I'm going to hit Edit, and I'm going to change that to 2003, sorry. And I'm going to hit OK. And now you can see it changed as well. So now that I have those names changed, I can hit OK. And when we look at our graph, we can see that the blue is 1910 and the red is 2003. So we're comparing the rates of diseases from 1910 to 2003. So what's different? Well, obviously there's a lot more cancer nowadays. What does that tell you? Maybe the foods we eat. Same thing with heart disease, maybe our diets. But injuries, there's less injuries. Maybe because we've learned from our mistakes in the past and people know how to get injured a lot less or take care of their injuries a lot better. Nephritis. This was a disease that existed back then. Obviously now we have ways to get out of here. We've developed antibodies and medicine to help us with diseases. And then stroke. Well, look. Interesting. Probably the foods we're consuming might be affecting our health, we can say, in the 2003s compared to the 1910s. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's move on with the assignment. To finish this assignment, I'm going to now find a design of my choosing. So we're going to go up to Chart Styles, choose one you like. I don't care what one you choose, it's all up to you. I'm going to go with this one. Now I like this one more, so I'm going to click on that one. And there we go. I just noticed something. I don't know how it exactly happened, but my title got a little messed up. So I'm going to come in and change my title. Maybe you caught it when I did this. But it should say Century Vital Statistics, because I don't know how I ruined it. There we go. Alright, now that I'm done, I'm just going to go ahead and place this chart in its correct spot. It's going to go right underneath, just like the example shows us, right underneath my data. So instead of looking and analyzing this data, I have a visual that shows it a lot better for me to see. Now that I'm finished, I'm going to go ahead and hit the Save button. And now it is your turn to use the instructions to do pie chart number 2, line chart number 2, and then bar chart number 2. And when you are finished, you will have documents that'll look like so. Here's your pie chart number 2, here's your line chart number 2, and then your bar chart number 2. So, best of luck. Once you finish every single document, so they all have charts in them, you go ahead and save, and then you will submit to Canvas. So once mine are saved, I'll come into Canvas, I'll submit it to the section with all assignments accomplished. Then I will go on and I'll take the quiz for the graphs. So then I'll go ahead and click on Graphs, Excel Lesson 3 Graphs Exit Quiz. Best of luck, and I'm happy that I could help you learn how to make charts now.